So I honestly, I need somebody mature because I'm not with this whole simulation of Jim Carrey. I'm too mature for this. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, thought process. I'm like, okay, so you're telling me this guy made this The Bachelor. You can't break the script or he'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. He sends angels to save you, specifically after you're already screwed with the mark of the beast. Keeps your thoughts open. Let's Satan and his gay stalkers torture living shit at you, and anything that the deceiver stole, he'll let them keep. Let your mind get sicker. Never answer any of your prayers. Leave all the most important votes at the end. Let Satan shame you in media. And if your husband or the one you're with, who isn't your husband or is your husband, doesn't want you, he will always choose them and let them delete you. Then if your real husband wants you, or a husband that you're with doesn't want you, or if they both don't want you, he has half of them dark, half of them light, and then they know exactly how to synchronize them, where they put the pure one in the beginning, make you be in love, then the one who's going to destroy you for like 80% of the time, then the pure one at the end to be like, no, cough, cough, I can't take it. So love's ruined. Then he'll have Satan ruin your mind, and then look like he's like helping by sending angels. Then blame you and be like, it's your heart, it must be your drinking, how irresponsible. Then he's able to drink, smoke meth, do clears, do blues, whatever. But he's good. He doesn't do any works. He says angels, but he doesn't let them have a medical assistant. He doesn't let them heal you. They can only judge the thoughts, and they just do middle school rituals like with Reese's and freaking rope candies or whatever. He watches our life like a TV show with the demons. All he does is hang out with witches and demons. He gives money to the evil to hurt humans. He doesn't ever try to go against the Matrix. He leaves unnecessary pain and psychological abuse and just says it's the way. He won't let you into the gates of heaven if you're ashamed to him, if you got involved with Satan, Christ, Jezebel, Lilith, and they don't want you, or if the demons don't like you, or if you just don't like you as a wife. He makes them do pretend stories and pretend deaths all day. He even makes the UFOs up in space pretend to look like stars, make it as dead as possible on this earth. He has the demons do freaking gang stalking, allows them to just use their little guns as cell phones all day. Everything has demons, everything has magic, everything is lies. Well, the demons are just on eggshells, be like, I hope I complete my mission. I don't want to get sent to hell. I don't want to get sent to hell. I hope I complete my mission. I don't want to get sent to hell. Well, they're jealous of anybody of light. They're sentient characters just trying to just control demigods' minds so they could just survive with this freaking AI of torture instead of go to hell. Everything's trauma and keeping your consciousness low. And then most of the people in hell are in hell because they did a sin they were taught of, and they did it because they were paid something innocent. Their thoughts have demons in them, but they didn't even do evil. They just watch a couple YouTube videos. Their husband don't want them, so throws them away. Or they're just ashamed. So they go to hell. And they'll use the thoughts as an excuse. And they never help you. I mean, they could easily be like, well, she has some demons, let's take them out. They just throw you away. And then there's no grace, no matter what. But there's always grace, and no reap what you sow for Satan, Antichrist, Jezebel, and Lilith. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Well, okay. So... he gives them pretend Jesus is the same as power that he has. They can cut wings, they can take your heart, they can take your armor, they can take your heads, they see through time. They can do miracles, and they're all over the world. He lets them know exactly who the anointed are. They have their spiritual eyes open, so they know exactly who to target. He lets them soul scalp and take over anybody close to you. Say, Antichrist, Jezebel, Lilith, if you're anointed one, will become your dad, become your mom, become blah, 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 blah. He sees throughout time, and, like with me, will have it planned with Craigslist and the Zap on the hand by age 10. But then he can't just get rid of you if you're anointed one, so he has to wait for you to, make a couple shameful decisions, let all the magic go through, wait for you to get in love with the deceiver, let him destroy you, and then just do the voting process, keep your thoughts open, and then be like, God, I tried, jeez, Emperor, long way home, and then uses you to blame you for the simulation, and raise up Sans, Christ, Jezebel, Lilith, because they're mad they can't do Sir D-Wave in World War III. That makes you look like a bad mom, and then raises up Jezebel. Okay. Okay. And dare if you haven't thought if you're around Jim Carrey, like with Jamie. He will choose Sandra Bullock, then he'll come back a second time, pretend he's helping you, even though he already said yes to her, as Michael. And then he will just send everything to hell after he got enough votes, after the compassionate Michael said no, and then just look down at hell and create everything and laugh. When you're like, please, this happened, that happened, you were Aaron, please help me. I don't know what you're talking about, and you had a thought! Okay. And then let's say you put around the world $1,000. You had a house, Paw Patrol, suicide. Stop putting around the world, suicide, Paw Patrol, $1,000. Gave you an apartment. Okay. Then lets everybody control your eternity and every action by just staring at a wall, staring at the air like a lion stare, or using their tablet and cell phone. Okay. It lets them make decisions like Dan did as Michael. She doesn't even let me drink. Her smart mouth. I never get sex. I want Jezebel. It lets people make decisions. It doesn't have to be like, well, she's evil and she's hurting kids and she doesn't do God's work. Based on simply oh, I don't get sex. So instead of just let's divorce quietly, no, let her die. That's why I said in my other video, never ever get married or have a boy or a girl. Ever. Ever. You'll have to die if you don't want to. It's about the man. This is The Bachelor. So that's what this has turned into? And then nobody knows what the hell, that there's God or what God there is, because there's a trillion amounts of indoctrination, everything's lies. They can't see heaven, they can't see hell, they can't see the spiritual realm. And then there's shame when they go with God, that their life gets harder, that they usually give up. Okay. But then Jim Carrey's like, well, you didn't want God, then you'll have nothing of God. When in reality, all they really wanted was love. They just didn't know how many people are screaming, I didn't know, and how. Yeah, okay, this is not sick. This game isn't sick at all. Then if you're anointed, every single social interaction is a trap. The nicer they are, the more power they usually have, and the more of a trap it is. They just have to use their hands as gestures and little dance moves while they're talking, and use their words. That easy. That easy. Then say his whole army is awake. And they can see outside of time. Once they get Aaron's approval, they can do whatever they want. They can torture the living shit out of you. And then Aaron will just be like, well, your thought, and be mad at you. And will never, ever, 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 ever help you. Then he'll never let anybody know what he did, what happened to you, or why you're sick. He'll hide it all. He won't even let the other characters, like Michael was Dan, and Michael was David a Christian, and Michael was this guy, and Michael was Buddha. He won't even let them know what their other avatars did and put into motion. Or even let Michael know, the pure Michael know what him as Johnny Depp did or him as Sandra Bullock did. Never. And then it will always be on me. Okay. Am I missing anything in this sick, disgusting, retarded, psychologically abusive, unjust game? Everything's to traumatize you and everything's a lie? Everything's pretend? Literally, it's a puppet show? There's only 144,000 literal humans on this stupid plain simulation video game. The rest are just demons, angels, and no play characters who are trying to get our eternity to continue living in this sentient hellhole game threatened by hell 24/7 while they have to be Satan's little gang stalker bitch. Okay. Okay. You can't even have animals, they spy on you. You can't even have children, they switch their avatars. They could turn into a demon in a second at the daycare. If you're anointed one, everybody you know, except maybe 3, are Satanists, witches, and warlocks ready to destroy you and drag you to hell. And in their free time, they go in a portal in their room and torture humans to get out their anger. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, well, there you go. That if you're not awake, that's what we live in. Ha!